like to thank everyone for coming out today. Special thank you goes to Decatur Cooperative, Emory, Sarah, for allowing us to work on this presentation and for being here to witness all of the work we've done and the research that we've put in. So a brief introduction to the team. My name is Mohammed. This is Yiming, Daniel, and this is Farhan, and our team lead is Paul. So just walking through the agenda for the presentation, we're going to start off with a challenge that Decatur Cooperative is facing. Then we're going to move into the recommendation. From there, we're going to talk about some other options. Then we're going to conclude the presentation, and then we're going to move into some question and answers. So the challenge that Decatur Cooperative is facing, it's two-pillared one. The first one is volunteer track. So you guys better than myself know that you need a system that can track hours, can log hours, can report those hours to not only the government but also to the volunteers themselves, so they can keep track of their volunteer hours and whatnot. So that's the first primary requirement of a system that we need to fulfill. The second one is donor management. And so you guys need a system that not only tracks and reports donations to the government, but also thanks donors and really allows you to see how the organization is run. So those coupled together, we needed to find a system that accomplished both of those. And so each one of us put in some research, and we've come up with a recommendation. And so the recommendation is for Decatur Cooperative to exit their current contract with eTapestry, and then from there implement Galaxy, a system Yiming will talk about in a little bit, and then transfer all the data that's in eTapestry over to Galaxy, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then from there, we would be managing day-to-day operations under Galaxy. From here, I'm going to hand it off to Yiming to talk a little bit about Galaxy.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Yiming if you don't know me yet. Well, so far, we recommend Galaxy as our best recommendation so far throughout our research in in the entire market, because we believe it first solves the two issues that you guys have been mentioning about, the volunteer tracking and the donor management system. At the same time, it actually tackles the other one, the cost. From my understanding, you guys are spending at least $8,000 a year for eTapestry, still remaining two of these problems. And I believe Galaxy will solve it. And here's a few reasons that we believe why it's the best option. First of all, for the price, we're looking at a $125 a month of subscription fee and a $500 one-time setup fee, which includes helping you transfer all your data through a very simple Excel sheet and upload it to the current Galaxy system. Well, it will be easy, convenient, and safe, which will avoid all this data loss. And let's talk. I actually summarized Galaxy into 6 different points. I'm making why it's the best option so far. First of all, it's an event sign. As we all know, that sometimes for your events, it get a little bit crowded, and we had to have a very mobile-friendly sign-up for all the volunteers and the administrators on site actually help us and help you guys actually to count the number and make sure they're signed in and checked in. And that's which eventually will lead to the second point, which is that we have unlimited participants in events, which eventually will be helping us. No matter how big this event is or how small it is, our system will fulfill your requirements. And for the second one, will be notifications. Since everybody's so busy these days, we have to send them reminders through text message, email, or even with the app, just a push notification telling you, hey, you actually have an upcoming event. Hey, do you want to volunteer for the upcoming event? And most important, when we send out emails, we do not just receive how many emails we actually send out. At the same time, we can track if they open it or they try to reply it. And moreover, the third point will be the volunteer tracking. As we all know, Decatur Cooperative has at least 1,500 of data documented volunteers. Having an hour report for every individual of them will be a responsibility for us and to know how they are doing as an individual, but most important for the entire organization to eventually to summarize and look for how can we optimize our operation in the future. So we do offer hourly report for every individual, but at the same time we do it also for groups as well. We can track it, no matter if the individual or the groups, if they're doing well or they're just not hitting the minimum or whatever. for our expectation. And as I mentioned in the data migration, as data is very easy to transport it from an Excel sheet, which just resolves a lot of issue and risk of losing our donor data. And the fourth point will be the processing. As we all know, Decatur Cooperative will take monetary donation and also in-kind donation. How do we track them? First of all, monetary tracking will be very easy. We take Visa, credit card, and PayPal through this system. Eventually, it will help them to locate all those donations into specific specific donor data profile. But how do we measure in-kind donation? So far the system had actually offered a resolution by this, once you enter the item, it will fall into different categorical columns, and eventually it will offer you an expected value of the data, which eventually you can calculate the overall contribution of the individual made to the entire organization. And most importantly, the acknowledgement part. First of all, everybody has attended the entire, maybe a service event or some community service event, and they need we have to send them an email to appreciate for their contribution and their time. So we do offer a response email which can be customized individually, and we can target into different volunteer groups. And after that, we can also add a donation reminder as an intervene, which requires them, if they, hey, you want to help us more or help the community more, this goal can be achieved by that. And moreover, the last one will be the tracking. For the donation tracking, is after the individual donates the money to the organization, how the money will be used and how it will be a benefit to the overall individuals that Decatur Cooperative is trying to help. Actually, the system can offer a very explicit tracking of how the donation will be used in the future. So all the contributors will be aware where the money is going, how the money is used, and who is using their money to make their life better. And now, after I summarize about 6 major points about Decatur Cooperative, now let's jump into the interface and take a look at how it actually functions. First of all, as we all know, this is an event sign-up page, which we have the Facebook sign-up, and we also can add the Google sign-up. It's very common and very easy to typical registration of website, and we just need to fill out your basic information, and now you have a folder and profile in our data system. Secondly, will be the event sign-up page. This is a typical event that will appear on the platform for the donors. It will, first of all, it will include the location and the type of the event, and the times of the event, which eventually will see if this is kind of the event that our volunteers or our donors is expecting. At the same time, under this next box will be the basic description of the event. So it is about how are we contributing to the community, and at the same time, what preparation you need to do before attending the event. Most important, you might have some curiosities and questions about what's going on. So we do have the basic contact basic information, which eventually will reach out to some of the from the staff from Decatur Cooperatives, and eventually will solve their resolution of curiosity. And this is a notification page. So this is basically the operations interface for administrators to actually send out emails or send out notifications to let all the volunteers that have been registered into the system to be aware. So as we can see, there's we can label different kinds of customer profiles and how we can tag them, and eventually they can make sure that we can reach to the specific volunteer group that we're expecting. And also the content can be customized as well. And for the email stats, will be, first of all, just like I mentioned, the email tracking. We can summarize how many emails have been sent to an individual or a group, and how many emails have been read by them or opened by them. And eventually we can also collect the data of how many emails they actually replied, or one of our links have been clicked on by the email. So we track this in numbers, so we will eventually provide a much more advantage for us in the future to make sure that for our marketing and we can reach out to more people. And for the donation page, so this is just a simple screenshot of the donation page of what are we expecting. We will be filling out the basic information as well, and eventually will lead you to a secure page with PayPal or credit card, or a Visa or MasterCard. That will eventually, the money will eventually go through that and go to one of our bank accounts for Decatur Cooperative. And there will be the benchmark. As we contribute to the community, it's very important to be recognized eventually, and also your contribution has been summarized. So this is the management for the benchmark. It will offer you a summary of the individual, how much of the community service it has actually contributed, and also on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and a monthly basis. And after you hit your benchmark, you will be recognized, and also you'll be encouraged to keep a consistent flow of that kind of generosity. So this will be the benchmark. Will be including the date and the time and the location and the type of the event you attend. Eventually, it will lead to the next picture. Well, it's even the one after, but this is the operation page actually for the operation page for the volunteers or when they attend. First of all, you will see the available events to make sure that what kind of events you want to attend and when are you available for that. And on the lower side will be the users, which is you can actually filter out your preference of event and what time are you available. So that will offer a convenience on both sides. And this is the best part so far, right? So it will be the summarized, which is a summarized page for the site administrators. It will, first of all, on the top, you can change the variables and generate pie graph or bar chart to help you summarize the overall performance and which events are the most popular so far that you offer. And we can maybe adjust a few events in the future and make it to attract more volunteers and more people to help the community. And on the lower part is actually for the users. We can throughout your attendance in Decatur Cooperative, how can you contribute more? Because it actually breaks down to what kind of event you attend and how long you have been attending and what kind of donation you have been made. You actually made to the overall community. It can be the in-kind donation or the monetary donation. And this will also provide you a very good summarizing detail of the individual and also the administrator. And now I hand it over to my friends, and they will talk about some alternative options, like for example,
Thank you. So one of the other options aside from Galaxy is Salsa. It is more expensive. It's actually double the price of Galaxy, but it does not carry any startup fee. So Galaxy had that $500 one-time implementation fee. If that is something you wanted to avoid, then Salsa would be a good option for that. One of the ways Salsa is different from Galaxy is their event registration and event marketing. For their event registration, it's not as complete as Galaxy. You can't create events that allow groups to sign up. So for example, if a church were volunteering, they couldn't sign up as a group. They would have to each sign up individually. And so that's an important distinction. Also, the volunteer tracking hours. There's no systemized way to track hours through Salsa, so that would have to remain done manually as an organization. One of the other things is event marketing. For Salsa, it's very easy. We'll actually see an image of it right here. You can schedule an email to go out, say 3 hours after somebody subscribes to a mail list, or 3 hours before an event to remind people that the event is coming up, or even 3 days. That's a better time. Here's an image of creating an event. So the event creation forms are actually really easy and very simple to create. It's just drag and drop, and it makes for a very simple and easy interface. One of the ways Salsa is unique is their donor management system. And so if I were, as a donor, if I was donating something to Decatur Cooperative, whether it be online or in kind, I would automatically receive a donation receipt from Decatur Cooperative, automated through Salsa, and it would thank me personally. It would actually have thank you, Mohammed, and it would generate a receipt so I could report it on my taxes and whatnot. And it also allows for customizable dashboards. So this is an example of displaying how much Decatur Cooperative has fundraised over the last year. And so you can easily group different variables, and that allows for insightful data on something that you might not see in like just an Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to hand it off to Daniel to talk a little bit about Sumac.
Thank you. All right, so the next system we examined was Sumac. Sumac would cost $235 a month, along with a $2,200 one-time fee. This one-time fee, the startup fee, would include the data migration from eTapestry and website integration, which allows for forms like interest, volunteer forms, and donation pages to show up on your website. This is the most expensive option that we have examined today. As you can see from the entry page, Sumac is a very heavily database style system. It is strictly for admins. There's no direct use by the volunteers in this system. Also notable about Sumac is that it has an irregular volunteer management. It does not have a